to me.
What the hell are you people doing here?
Midgar isn't big enough for us. We're taking our operations worldwide.
Yeah, I bet.
We've gone legit. We're a business now.
They're a special kind of stupid.
If Shinra can take over the world with Mako, then all we gotta do is find our own treasures, and then we'll be on top.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna appreciate all the things.
Wouldn't you like to know? I mean, I would too, and it looks like crap, but it's definitely pulsing with a ridiculous amount of power.
Once we flip it, we'll be swimming in lakes of gil.
Hey, Cloud, isn't that...
Hand over.
Hold on, now you're after our treasure?
Well, sucks to be you. We found it.
Yeah, we're the only ones who can.
What the hell? Why is that bat so huge? It's like a sword-sized bat.
Ha! You really think that's enough to intimidate the likes of...
No, please, it's all yours. Just don't hurt us again.
Play dead. Call back to the first game.
We're freaking out! Now listen here, numbnuts. I got a foolproof plan. I call it... Use a decoy!
Yeah.
So, who's the decoy?
All of you! That's
All of you.
Gentlemen, it has been an honor.
Back.
Back in the hideout!
Damn it! Decoys are dead!
Oh, the team changed.
Keep it together. Ready when you are. Got it?
Damn. Stardust Ray is insane.
My readings indicate the proto-relic is on the move.
Oh, back at some.
Tell the situation.
Bandits beat us to it.
Oh? I see. Fortunately, I've already ascertained the proto-relic's destination. Would you mind heading there?
Wild Bandit Chase. Ah, okay. Gotcha. That's where there's more than one. We're chasing this fool around.
Now's our chance. Let's catch up with Beck.
Hey, wait for me.
Alright. I think we're going to call it here for tonight. We're at 9 hours and we're still in this first area. Jesus Christ. There's no way anybody beat this game in 50 hours and actually did everything. Absolutely no way. If I read a review for this game and they say they played the entire game in 50 hours, I'm gonna not believe a single thing they say because they are lying their asses off. They didn't play the game enough to appreciate all the different nuances of it. If you didn't explore the entire Grassland, if you didn't do all the side quest stuff. And so far, like these side quests that we've been doing, this world intel stuff, it's not really a side quest per se. I really can't say yet, because so here's the thing, right? MMOs. So this whole concept of open world. quests and side quests and stuff is based upon the principle of how open world games work, right? MMOs. There's really only been one, maybe 2 or 3 open world games that have done open world type side quests correctly. Skyrim is one of them. But even saying that, Skyrim's Radiant quest system is trash, because it's just the same quests over and over again. There's no difference, right? It's like a unlimited quest system, and those quests are all very generic because they have to be able to do that system with it, right? But the other quests, like stuff you can just find wandering around in the world, those are really good. This game hasn't risen to that level yet. It might. The one thing that's kind of annoying about that is that you have to go to the Chadley soft towers to unlock these intel locations, I think, because when we went there, they might be unlocked now. We might not have to go to the towers to unlock them to see the stuff now. The stuff might be there now. And we just had to wait to talk to Chadley to get, to learn about the stuff. Then it loads in after that point. So, like, we're gonna go down to the where that relic was, right? Next time we play, because that's kind of in the same area we're at. We're kind of going that direction anyway. We're gonna see if we can go down there and interact with that before it actually gets loaded into the map as a thing we can interact with, and see. Because if you can do that, if you can just go to a place where you know there's something and interact with it, and you get that world intel interaction to happen without having it on the map, then this raises the side quest, the world intel side quests up to the level of not as high as Skyrim quests, because they're not really that high. They aren't that kind of side quests, but it raises them above your average MMO trash side quest, like the Radiant system side quests. We'll have to see what the actual side quests are like before we can really form an opinion. But the one thing that RPGs that are open world struggle with the most is the side quests. It's the most common problem that these kinds of games have, is that the side quests suck because of how they're constructed and how they're built. We'll see if they solve that for this game or not. They might have. Who knows? But I would not be surprised if the side quests are not entirely good. Anyway, so let's go ahead and save this up again. Alright, so that'll be it for me tonight, though. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Leave your comments and questions below. And I will see you guys for the next one of these. Until then, this is LMPGames. See you guys later. Alright, and we are back for some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Collector's Edition came in. You can kind of see Sephiroth back there. Somewhere there. It's a massive statue. Yeah, it comes with an art book, mini soundtrack. It's only got, the steel case is pretty good. Essentially it's a digital deluxe, or the deluxe edition version, plus the statue. Along with some extra downloadable stuff you use codes for, which I've put in and done. Here's the steelbook. It's the front of the case. This is the back. And then this is the art book. There's no spoilers on this. I haven't really opened this yet, because I'm pretty sure this is chock ton of spoilers. There's just a back, just simple stuff there. So yeah. That is the what came in the box. Pretty cool stuff. The Cloud figure and this statue are the only stuff that I have that's, you know, figurine action figure kind of shit. So I got the first class edition of Remake, so I have that as well. I haven't gotten it out set up. It's in my computer and closet here. All right, so we did a couple things of Chadley's last night after we unlocked it, and then we stopped. So we're gonna continue doing stuff for Chadley, and we're gonna work our way down this way, and see if we can interact with that thing that was down here, that weird spot that we found that has like that crazy ass looking ruins thing place, wherever that's at. I think it was down here. We'll see if we can interact with that yet, or not, if that's something that unlocks a little bit later. First, though, we need to heal Cloud because we are dying. Alright. Am I on the right side? Oh yeah, it's just down further. Okay. So I was thinking about the comparison of Final Fantasy 15 to this, in terms of like the
Keep it together.
spin to win, apparently. How do we... I'm going to switch back over to our main party. How do we do that? Combat settings? Ah, here we go. Yeah, back to, Group 3 here. Anyways, I was thinking about the comparisons I was making to 15 last night, and so here's, I'm like thinking about this from the perspective of somebody that doesn't like Final Fantasy, right? Maybe like a jilted Xbox fanboy that is like pissed off that. Oh, that's interesting.
Hey Cloud, do you notice any sparkling minerals nearby?
Yep.
These are known as guide stones, crystals that direct travelers to shrines to the divine. The stones emit light when they shatter, producing an illuminated path. If ever you're lost, try smashing one.
Okay.
Following the light should lead you to a sanctuary set to honor the tutelary deity of a given region. The shrines contain untold
So,
knowledge.
if you destroy one of these, it leads you to the shrine, okay.
I can use this knowledge to strengthen your summoning materia, so I encourage you
cool.
to seek out said sanctuaries.
Well, I don't need that because I know where this is at, so. But like, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of like a jilted Xbox fanboy or something, like thinking about like comparisons between this and Starfield, right? Like how would this be compared to Starfield or FF15 even? Like a lot of people, including me, rode Starfield pretty hard for a lot of things. Now, part of that is presentation, right? The developers come out and said, hey, this is going to be the game of the year, game of the generation. This is the magnum opus of Bethesda Game Studios. Kind of stuff, right? So, that kind of puts up your expectations a bit as to what you're going to see. And I think that is, if Bethesda just came out and said, hey, we're releasing this game, we've been working on it for a while, hope you enjoy it, and they shut the hell up after that, they didn't have Todd going out doing his usual bullshit of 16 times the detail and it just works nonsense that he always does, because Todd Howard is Todd frickin' Howard. I don't think a lot of people would have been as harsh as they were on it, right? Because there were no expectations being set by... That actually just went over there. Nice. There would have been no expectations set by the developers. Now, it's a entirely different thing if it's like a bunch of Xbox fanboys saying it's going to be the game of the generation right now, right? Yeah, you can just ignore those fools. Before the game is out. If you played the game after it comes out, and you think it's the game of the year, game of generation, whatever, say that, it's fine. To say that before the game even comes out, we've seen like curated bits and pieces of something from the developers and trailers and showcases and stuff. You know, you're seeing what the developer wants you to see, not what the actual truth is. And in some cases, those things you're seeing are faked, too. There's been a lot of times in the past where you've ever heard the term of bull shots. Essentially, it's a term referring to a screenshot or a video or some kind of representation of a game at like an event or something that is entirely fabricated or is edited in post or is like being rendered on a PC and not an actual console. You should never believe what you see during a press conference in terms of like the quality of something, how it looks and how it plays and things like that. You have to wait till you get an actual demo. So, like, even before the game released, you know, not everyone, but a lot of Xbox people on Twitter were all like, oh, this is going to be game of the generation. So, again, setting expectations. And when that game failed to meet those expectations by a mile, people, rightly so, came down really hard on it. Now, somebody that might be like a jilted person that likes Starfield might look at this game and say, well, I see all these things that people criticize Starfield for. How come they aren't criticizing this game?
This
well,
is positively incredible, Cloud. I can't recall ever seeing a crystal
couple
of this
reasons.
caliber before.
Wait till we get this done.
The secrets of the divine dwell within. I cannot wait to see what sort of intel our analysis will yield. You'll need to synchronize with the crystal before I can extract data on
It's a minigame of some sort, huh? Let's see how this goes. Examine Summon Crystal reveals Memory Matrix. A series of points will appear in order, and you must memorize the position and necessary timing. Oh shit. Points will then disappear, and you must make the inputs to correct at the correct times to replicate the matrix. If you succeed, you'll weaken the summon in its combat trial. Ah. And strengthen its corresponding materia. Can I do these after we unlock them? Because I'd rather just... No. What I would like to do is try and fight the summons at their strongest, right? So hopefully we can come back and do this after we've got the materia to strengthen the materia after the fact. I don't want to weaken the enemies. So we're not going to do that. I don't think it's required for world intel anyway. It's just a thing you can do. Okay. Well, that answers what that was about. Now, as I was saying, so there's a couple of reasons why some things that you might see in that Starfield got ragged on for won't happen or won't happen as often with this game. First and foremost, this game is an actual finished game. You know, there are at least 10 times the things in the map that Starfield has. Traversal through the environment isn't shit. You know, you have Chocobos, you can fast travel, there are actual enemies to encounter every once in a while. Now, would I like there to be more enemies? Yes. I think the enemy spread is a little bit too thin for my liking. Goddamn wolf. These damned Grassland Wolves, man. These Grassland Wolves are a problem. So, there are enemies every once in a while that you can run into. In Starfield, you don't run into anything unless it's at a point of interest. Otherwise, the world the world around points of interest is dead in Starfield, and pretty much most planets. That might not be true for some of the more curated content planets, like the major planets. But just your regular average planets around everywhere that you can go to, the 90% of the planets in the game that have anything on them. We got something going on here.
Energy readings up ahead, Cloud. I suspect this means you're approaching a divine shrine.
Don't have anything between points of interest, other than just like scanning for minerals and things that don't really have any impact whatsoever on what's going on. You just get some experience or something like that. There's no combat or anything. There's no enemies to fight. The only real way that I've seen enemies show up just randomly in the map as you're wandering around is if you have the wanted traits, because that'll cause bounty hunters to show up every once in a while. But you have to have that trait for it to happen. In this game, there's, stuff to find that's used in systems to create things all over the place. You don't have to go to a point of interest. You don't have to enter a cave. They're just out around in the world. They're easy to find. You can't go a minute without finding something to pick up. If you're just wandering around, right? So you have a vehicle, Chocobos, to get around with. You have fast traveling, which loads in really quick. And the world is fun to traverse and wander around in. There's things to find. There's things to find. There's lore to find. Things to do.
Gotta be careful.
Oh, Cloud, I think you're dead. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm mad. There! I got this. I'm not going out like this. Pour it on! Bingo! Finish him off! Go on!
God, I'm hitting the wrong buttons.
There!
Alright, can I pull this item off
Here, go for it!
before I die? The answer is
Don't
no.
worry, I can handle this. Just a bit.
Ugh. Oh.
Go on!
Alright, Sorcerer Storm.
I'd keep my distance if I were you.
Nice.
Gotta go for it now. Good night.
Nothing to it.
Jesus, okay. Areith coming in clutch there. A Sorcerer Storm. God damn, those wolves are a freaking problem. Okay, there we go. Let's go grab the medals before we do anything else. So yeah, there's like, the world feels a lot better to travel around, and there's things to find that matter. There's things to do that matter. You can just discover stuff. There's all kinds of enemies. The world's pretty large. So the world, the planet's surfaces in Starfield and the world in this game are not comparable in any way, shape, or form in terms of like the quality of the content in them. Combat is extremely fun in this game. Combat is not fun in Starfield. Combat is your traditional Bethesda Fallout style combat. There's nothing really innovative there. Hasn't been for years. You're locked into an ammo system in Starfield that's ridiculous. Borderline stupid. We unlocked a new thing there. Graphically now, so I think the weakest part of this game is in the graphics side of things, of Rebirth. The lighting systems are not really well thought out in terms of how they're used. They tried to go focus way too much on realism on some things, and it really detracts from the way the graphics look. Due to the choice to stay on Unreal Engine 4 and not move to 5 because they didn't want to have to port things to 5 and wanted to stay on 4. That has a major limit on what you can do visually with this kind of game, because as I talked about the other night, Unreal Engine 4 sucks at large areas. Just always has, always will. That's not where its strength lies in. The strength lies in small contained areas with high levels of detail. Unreal Engine 5, on the other hand, can do large areas with high detail because of the way the systems are built to support performance of games at that level of resolution and that scale of an area. You know, just because a game engine is new or slightly new doesn't mean that that engine is good at everything, right? Like Unity is not really. Unity is good at. Some 3D, some 2D, but like it's not really super good for like high what's the term I'm thinking of here? High production value games.
One step at a time.
It's better as like an enthusiast or like an indie sort of engine. Whereas Unreal Engine's better as like a AAA kind of game dev engine. Because it can support that level of quality. Unity can, but it has a lot of like built-in baggage around a lot of the systems, and has a lot of quirks to make things look the way they need to. Plus, we're talking about Unity here. You know, Unity's a dumpster fire in terms of the actual company behind it. And to be honest, I think Unity's going to be going away within the next 5-10 years. I think Unity's just going to go bankrupt.
They're nothing. Deal with that.
Let me go on. Take that. Moving on then.
So Unreal Engine 4 is a much older engine. Even though they have like custom coding and things in this to make things work, there's still a lot of places where they had to make lots of sacrifices to make the game work, even work. Guaranteed. So when you see like these rock textures that look really, really low quality, you know, in order for the game to function at all, they had to make that sacrifice of having the more up-close details look worse, so that the larger picture details and the game functionality would even happen and would look good. That's an intentional choice. They could either gone down and said, okay, we're going to make all the individual details really look good, like Bethesda decided to do, and as a result, a lot of the larger macro aspect of the game sucks because of it. Like that's why in Bethesda or in Starfield, a lot of the planets on the outside, on the surface of the planets, they're all barren and very void of details and everything. Is because they chose to go hyper in on the individual quality of things, the quality of individual things, like really high quality textures and things like that. On like pretty much everything. So they can't put many of those into a world, into a map, because that will just kill performance. You can't just go shoving, at least till 5, really, UE5. You couldn't go around shoving everything and anything under the sun in at the highest quality, because you would just destroy computers at that point. That's not how gaming works. Gaming is a measure, or is a process of compromise. You have to compromise on visual quality, you have to compromise on performance of the